First, let me tell you that you did a very nice job this week. You tackled some very difficult topics, and you did them really well. So it was really hard information, and you did a great job. There are a couple issues that I wanted to discuss and make sure that you had down moving on to next week. The first one is that I wanted you to use an external style sheet. I'm going to show you how to make one. I'm doing it from Dreamweaver. If you have Text Wrangler or Notepad++, let me know and I can show you how to do it there. So if we're over here in Dreamweaver and we go to File, New, we can go ahead and make a new CSS. And the difference between CSS and any other document is just that it has this piece at the top. You can make a new blank document and type this in and save it as .css, and it will be a CSS file. So there's nothing magical about CSS. So now I'm going to do File, Save As, and I'm going to save it as project1.css into your folder. I've already done it, so I'm just going to write over the one that I did. So there we go. And you're going to put it in that same Project 1 website folder that your HTML is in. Okay, so now it's in there. The next step is to take all of these styles that you have over here, all the styles, and copy and paste them into your CSS. And they just go right in there. You don't take the style tags because these little carrots don't belong in CSS, so we don't need those once we're done. So we can just trash those, and you notice in here it's just starting with your first style rule. Now you have one extra curly bracket, so I'm going to get rid of it. You already have a curly bracket over here. So that one is your closing curly bracket. Okay, so to connect the two, up here in your head, you need to put in one tag, and it's called link. So I put in link, and I put in space, rel, R-E-L, equals, quotes, style sheet, end quotes, type equals, quotes, text /CSS, space, href equals, and for you, yours is in the actual same folder, so it's just going to be project1.css. Now, if we did it correctly, then when we preview it, after we've saved both documents, when we preview it, it should be that looks exactly like yours looked. Yay! So it worked. So it's important to do the external style sheet. It's just going to help you out as you kind of keep going. So all of this stuff looks good. Your div IDs look good. I didn't look to see. You need closing div tags, not closing, it doesn't say closing aside. So you need it to say /div instead of /aside. So you can go ahead and change that. Same thing is true with your content. Your content doesn't have a closing div tag. So you need to make sure your content has a closing div tag that I can see. Maybe I'm missing it, but so you need a closing div tag. So both of these are just /div. The browser knows which one you're opening and which one you're closing. Okay, one more little section. Over here in your CSS, there's a couple places that have a little bit of an issue. Your content, you did a great job. This little /aside, you can get rid of, you don't need it. And up here in aside, the reason aside wasn't working was because you need a # in front of aside, because that's the name of that little area. So if we put a # in front of that, it should work better. Also, I thought there was one other place here. No, I think actually everything else. Oh, up here. You have content, and if you notice this is blue, the reason it's blue is because you missed a semicolon. Okay, so your semicolon now is there. Okay, so those are kind of the syntax things. There's probably some other little mistakes, but for the most part, those are the mistakes. And when you preview it, it's probably going to look a little bit different than when you did it. Yeah, so now we have this aside piece on the side, and you should now be able to work with it. Okay, perfect.